Hey everybody, welcome back to Ever 17. I'm really enjoying this, so that's why I'm making more episodes now. I'm really enjoying this. I just want to know what happens. I'm just hearing that true ending is so good, and everything makes sense. So like why Kid has no voice and all that, it's all answered at the end. So yeah, let's start this up. Anyway. Quick recap. I don't know. Stuff happens. We find the other group. We discuss that help is gonna arrive, and then we sleep and we draw on Takeshi's face. Well, no, we draw on Takeshi's face and then we sleep. Takeshi. You lifted her foot and kicked Takeshi, who was lying on the bed. Takeshi was still dreaming. It looked like Sora had noticed the graffiti and was trying to keep from form exploding with laughter. We took turns drawing on him. Saying that, you laughed loudly. It's poetic justice. Earlies? Me too. Social science, English class, music. Can't play that. Has anything happened? Cool, let's go to the control room. Sora ducked and left the pressurization chamber. Sora's face as she left was devoid of humor. We got Takeshi up and made for the control room. Sora was next to me. I had you and Takeshi were talking about something as they walked. I couldn't quite make out what they were saying. Eventually, Takeshi slowed down, separated from you, and came back. Who knows? Huh? When Sora said that, it seemed like Takeshi finally figured it out. He wiped his face with his hand. He stared at the black ink on the palm of his hand. Clicking his tongue, Takeshi hurried back up ahead to you. Sarah and I laughed as we watched Takeshi and you exchange words. Tsugumi was in front of the control room. She was leaning against the wall, her arms folded and facing down. Morning. With our greeting, Tsugumi slowly raised her head. Are you alright? Huh? Flashed in my mind. It seemed like something about Tsugumi had changed from the day before. Maybe it was loneliness, but her attitude and way of talking up until now. She's a lot calmer. At Tsugumi's urging, Sarah and I entered the control room. Whoa, 5:40? That's something I would wake up at. It's actually 8:44 right now. Sora paused. Sora looked over all five of us. You, Sora, Tsugumi, Takeshi, and finally me. The cooling fan whirred away in the silence. Occasionally, the sound of metal on metal would ring through the room. The five of us waited on Sora's next words. 4人の皆さんが、私はこの制御室でここからの脱出、そしてレミュー内の状況を一つ一つ調べていくうちに、脱出するルートが見つかったの？ Get on with it! いいえ、
ってことは外部へ連絡す。それも
じゃあどんなことが分かった？
圧力核壁の耐久強度、その限界が分かりました。
Saying that, Sora turned her eyes to the side of the console. In the darkness, a three-dimensional image of Lame was sprung out. Pressure bulkhead? What?
レミューの壁のことです。外側の海水と内側、その限界が分かったって。昨日もお伝えしましたように、レミューは基本的に飽和性、つまり内部の気圧が外部の水圧と同等か、またはそれを上回るような構造になっている。しかし今や艦内の気圧は1気圧ですから、レミューの外核は常に苛烈な水圧。はい。ところがレミューはもともとこのように必然的にいつかは限界。おっしゃる通りです。
で、その限界、
レミの計算によると119時間後。
Wow. You stared in tandem at Tsugumi.
よくご存知ですね。警備室の端末でお調べになったのですか？
Oh, Tsugumi. I kinda... She knows stuff.
そうです。小松さんがおっしゃった完全悪化推定時刻は5月7日。もちろんあくまでも推定ですから誤差はありますが、プラスマイナス12時間程度。はい。
Oh, I'm supposed to read. Sora's words have shaken us a bit, but 5 days sound like a long time and it really didn't register with me. I kept thinking that a rescue team would arrive at any time, so I didn't really feel that it was worth worrying much. Sora, can I summarize what you said to make sure I got it? At 4:30 a.m. on May 7th, the walls of Lemu will reach the limit of their pressure that they can handle. But that might happen at 4:30 p.m. on the 6th or at 4:30 p.m. on the 7th. Is that right so far? So, doesn't the opposite also hold true? I mean, at the worst, Lemu will be fine until 4:30 p.m. on May 6th. So we're fine until then and have nothing to worry about.
絶対に安全だと断定することはできませんが、でも確かにレミの計算結果から判断する。なんだ。要するに6日までに誰かが助けに来てくれ。そうだよね。あと1日でなんて言われたら思わず泣きだ。
I would too. That's scary. You have one more day and then you know you're gonna die. The tension in the air broke and sighs of relief could be heard around the room. Tsugumi, having gotten information somewhere before us, was smiling to herself smugly. It was 5:50 a.m. Takeshi gave a large yawn. Sora and I sat cross-legged on a bench in the rest area. The floor was covered with water. That was good! We had just polished off fried chicken sandwiches that Takeshi had made for us. As for the other four, Sora was, as usual, cooped up in the control room trying to make contact with Lei Mei. Tsugumi had vanished without saying where she was going. Takeshi had gone to deliver sandwiches to Sora and Tsugumi. Yu was changing clothes. Apparently she had spilled something on them while eating. Fortunately, her normal clothes were safe in the changing room in the giant.
A
game?
山手線ゲームとか3文字しりとりとか。そうだ、じゃんけんモノマネゲームやろうよ。じゃんけんして勝った方がお題を出すのね。で、負けた方がそのお題のせーの、しけぴー。ちょっと。
I haven't said I'm going to play. When is that Janken boy?
しけぴはじゃんけんの掛け声。やるかやらないかはやるでき。
Who said you could decide?
うるさい。いいからやるの。このままボケーっとしててもつまらないでしょ。
Oh, alright.
素直で。それじゃあ行くよ。せーの、ちっけぴ。
I was paper and Sarah went scissors.
やったね、私の勝ち。というわけで、サバ。
Salmon? You mean like a fish?
それじゃあ張り切る。
Salmon, 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 salmon. I opened and closed my mouth like a fish, gyrating my hips around and doing my best to become a salmon. Sarah was laughing and holding her stomach. It looked like I've been a good salmon. Alright, now I'm warmed up. Let's go again.
せーの、しっけぴ。
went scissors and Sora was paper.
負けたー。お願いだから変なお題。
I decided to make her act like Minnie Mousy. You. I choose for you to act out you.
ユウってナッキュ先輩のこと？
Yep.
なんだ、そんなの簡単。
Easy.
行くよ。
関東愚連会紅爆走連合7代目総長田中優、よろしく。
You is that?
ついこの間までね。今は片木に戻ったみたいよ。
Oh, what? I see. And
何
then
やってんの？
you appeared in her change clothes. We're playing rock, paper, scissors charades.
じゃんけんモノマネゲーム？なんか面白そうだね。いいですよ。
Sora explained the rules to you.
オッケー、わかった。それじゃあ行きますよ。せーの、チッケピッ。
Just then, the lights illuminating the room started to flicker. Instinctively, we looked to the ceiling. Listening carefully, I heard a sound like the rumble of thunder far away.
何かな？
Tiny waves formed in the water pooled on the floor. Creepy. The walls and ceiling trembled slightly. Metal screeched on metal.
まさか。
Couldn't be what?
ほら、昨日の浸水の時と似てない？これ。
The blood appeared to drain from the faces of you and Sora in a flickering light. Immediately after that, we were blanketed in darkness. The tremors and sounds stopped, but an eerie silence filled the area. Only the emergency lights showed weakly.
停電だ。他のみんなは？
Where are Takeshi, Tsugumi, and Sora?
つぐみと、そら。で、つぐみはどこに？
Sora and I shook our heads in the
とにかく、
darkness.
倉成とつぐみを探しに行こう。そらは？そらは、今はいいの。
What?
話は後、今は二人を探す方が先よ。
You started running. Sarah and I follow her, or you mean followed? This game has grammar problems. Sarah and I followed her without knowing what was going on. Until we arrived in front of the control room. The power was out, so the door didn't open automatically. You pulled the lever next to the door and opened it manually. The three of us went inside.
倉成！つぐみ！いたら返事して！
You shouted out into the darkness. I wonder why she was only calling out to Takeshi and Tsugumi. Sora! Sora! I called Sora, but there was no answer. Sora should have been here. I wonder where she could have gone. You had picked up a flashlight at this point. I imagined she had gone somewhere in the control room. You turned it on. A white circle of light appeared on the wall. You shined the flashlight right and left, lighting up all the corners of the room. The electrical system was completely down. Like an abandoned castle, there was no sign of warmth left. There was clearly nobody here.
誰もいないみたいね。
We left the room.
ちょっとこれ持ってて。
You handed me the flashlight and shut the control room door. Just then, splash, splash, splash. You mean Magikarp? We heard the sound of someone running toward us through water. After a short while, two figures emerged from the darkness. Oh, Takeshi!
つぐみ！
Takeshi and Tsugumi approached walking through the water. Hey, have you seen Sora?
制御室にいたんじゃねえのか？
それが、もぬけの殻で。
本当か？
Takeshi used the manual lever to open the door. He looked inside. Do you want a flashlight?
ああ、サンキュー。
Takeshi took the flashlight, turned it on, and went into the room.
たく、こんな時にどこ行っちゃったんだよ、空のやつ。
Takeshi said that when he emerged from the control room.
さてと、どうしますか？
You said this calmly. It had been a series of emergencies since the day before. Maybe we were all completely used to it. In any case, none of us were freaking out.
とりあえず、みんなで手分けして空を探すしかないんじゃないの？空がいなかったら、なんで停電したのかだってわかんないんだ。
Yeah, Sora knows more about Leimu than anyone.
ソラ、もうしょうがないかな。
What?
この際だから言っちゃうけど、ソラは探して。
What?
どうして？
理由は私の口からは言えない。そういうことはちゃんと本人から説明しないと。
This is weird. So, is Sora like not human?
とにかく私の言ってることを信じて。心配しなくてもソラは無事だから必ず戻ってくるから。
Come back? You ignored my question.
分かったわ。で、あなたはどうするつ？発電室に行ってみようと思って。発電室？この停電の原因は発電機のトラブルにあると思うの。
That remind me of something Sora had said the day before. Leimu didn't receive any power from the outside, but had an in-house generating system. There was a thermal seafloor vent where hot water was pumped down the seabed, and heat from that was used to operate the generators.
ひぐみも一緒に来てくれるでしょ？あいにくだけど、その手には乗らないから。私は行かない。行きたいなら勝手にどうぞ。
Saying that, Sugumi left. Didn't look like it would be any use calling after her.
まったくもう、本当にわけのわからんやっちゃな、あいつは。
しょうがない。4人で行くしかないね。ナッキョ先輩、その発電室っていうのはどこにあるんですか？発電室は、ここ。
よし、そんじゃ早速行くとするか。
Takeshi started walking toward the corridor.
ちょっと倉成、どこ行くつもりなのよ。
どこって発電室に行くんだろ？お前が言ったんじゃんか。
それで、
そんなの。
やれやれ。
それどういう意味だよ。
Hey, you. I don't think I get it either.
私も。みんな、昨日見たレミューのマップ。
マップ？
Yes, the mapu. Mapu. I'm trying to say it like that.
確か3階のマップはエリアが2つに分断されてましたよね。
Oh, that's right.
倉成も思い出せた？
鮮明にとまではいかないけど、ある程度は。
じゃあ、その2つのエリアの。
何が？何？
I don't think that there was anything.
そう。ということは？
The two areas are divided by a block, which is now underwater.
だから、制御室のあるエリアから発電室のあるエリアへは直接移動する。
Besides that, the emergency stairs.
ああ、そういうことか。
I did it again. Oh, I held down enter.
発電室のあるエリアに降りるには、2階の中性浮力式エレベーターを利用する以外方法はないんだ。
ご名答。だから私たち
To the entrance to the neutral buoyancy elevator.
そういうこと。さて、理解してギョイでござるよ。ニンニン。
Sarah took a berserk kung fu pose and started spinning like a top, but I had no clue what she was trying to do. Before going for repairs, we had to secure tools. When the four of us ascended from Zweitstock, we stopped by the warehouse first. Fortunately, we found the tools we needed right away. Pliers, a spanner, a screwdriver, hammer, a small welding machine, etc., etc. We packed all of the tools we imagined we might need into a toolbox and headed for the neutral buoyancy elevator. The neutral buoyancy elevator, EI. EI meant egg in German. It was also a little take on the egg-shaped elevator that traveled up and down rails into the ocean on the side of Blaven. A ballast tank was attached to the floor. It would take in or release seawater from the tank as necessary to increase or reduce buoyancy, thus making the elevator rise or sink. Once we were inside, we sealed the watertight doors on the Leimu side of the elevator. All we had to do was release the lock connecting us to Leimu, and the egg was sealed away. You pulled the operating lever next to the door. Something happened.
なんだよ。全然沈まないじゃないか。
そうみたいね。
Do you think it's because the power's out?
ア 愛は中性浮力を利用してるから、基本的には動力を必要としないの。ただし、バラストタンクの。
でも、今は停電してるから。
そう。
Oops.
なんだ。それじゃ結局のところ、動かせないんじゃないか。
バカね。そうじゃないでしょ。
悪かったな。じゃあ分かるように説明してくれよ。
先生。はい、松永くん。
浮力を利用して昇降するってことは、エレベーターの総重量が浮力を上回る。
その通り。もちろん少年も分かってるよね。
I don't understand. Sorry, I don't get it at all.
そっか。少年は記憶喪失中だ。じゃあマヨ、説明してはーい。
アルキメデスの原理。物体にかかる浮力は、その物体が押しのけた液。つまりね、今エレベーターにかかっている浮力は、エレベーター。だから、エレベーターをどんどん重くしてやれば、
And so the elevator will sink, right?
そういうこと。
You patted Sarah's hand as she praised her.
賢い。どっかの誰かさんと違ってね。
So the reason that A won't sink yet is that it's not heavy enough?
何か、
We split up and went in search of things we can use as weights. And several minutes later...
どっこいしょっと。
Takeshi was carrying a massive planting pot.
ちらほい。
You brought a plaster ornament. And I brought a magazine holder and a bundle of magazines from the security office. And Sarah...
ちょっと。
Pull. Sarah, that's...
何持ってきてんだよ。
Sarah was dragging a massive tuna.
それ、どうしたの？
向こうの通路に落ちてたの。多分浸水の時、厨房の冷蔵庫から流れて。ちょっと冷たいけど我慢して。
Oh, whoa, that's a big tuna. So the four of us packed ourselves into A, cradling a frozen tuna and headed down to the dread stop. A began to inch down ever so slowly. Peeking through the window and into the blue, you can see the outside of Link. The blue gradually got darker and the steel bulkhead appeared to move further away upward. We were silent during that time. What was there really to talk about? No, actually, you did say one thing.
そういえばさ、食用捕鯨って国際条約で禁止されてたよね。
It seemed that you was having trouble with the difference between a dolphin and a tuna. No one tried to answer her. I decided not to think about anything. Dreadstock Sector 7 was another area sealed off because of flooding. That was where we got off. Once the four of us holding tuna got off, A lost his baggage and floated up to the Dreadstock again. Oh no, what do? We can't get back.
大丈夫よ。愛はもう一機あるの。そっちがこのフロアに止まってることは確認済みだから。
No, that surprised the heck out of me.
当たり前だろ。じゃなきゃ4人で降りてきたりしないってばさ。
その割に顔引きずってる人？
That's funny.
やかましい。余計なツッコミ入れんな。
はい。そんなことはどうでもいいから。
We put the frozen tuna down and began walking toward the generator room. This side of the area was also inundated with water from the flood. It was still bathed in darkness. Blue light from the surface dimly pierced through the small round windows, making a wave-like shadow. The four of us relied on that and our flashlight as we proceeded deeper and deeper into the complex.
ちょっと待ってくれよ。
When we turned the corner, we heard Takeshi call up from behind us.
何やってんの？
ちんたらってお前だ。
He's holding the toolbox. Looking back, there was Takeshi with the toolbox on the floor and breathing hard.
たく仕方ないな。
Alright. I hurried to where Takeshi was. Takeshi, I'll help you.
悪いな。じゃ。
Okay. The two of us took the toolbox from both sides.
助かったよ。このまま一人で。
Quit exaggerating. Oh, Takeshi, watch out! There's a bump sticking out there.
危ねえ。
Takeshi was just able to right himself.
びっくらこいた。危うくすっ転ぶとこだったぜ。それにしてもよく気づいたな、少年。こんなに。
Huh? You really think it's that dark? Takeshi, maybe you got bad night vision.
そうかも。確かビタミン A が不足してるんだっけか？そういや俺、レバーとか人参大嫌いだしな。
You shouldn't be so picky. I shouldn't be either, but... carrots I eat once in a while. They're just really tough to chew. There we go. 10 minutes. Finally, no. 12 minutes, wow. Finally, as we caught up with you and Sora, we reached our destination. Yellow and black stripes appeared dimly ahead.
ここか？発電室ってのは。
There was a plate with information on the front of the door, but it was too dark to read.
とりあえず、覗い。
You reached toward the door handle. Wait! I grabbed Yu's arm.
ん？
Takeshi and Sora stared at me
どうしたの？
the thing is... I couldn't find the words to reply. I wonder why I had said what I had. I really didn't know. Yet somehow... If you don't know what's going on inside, don't you think it might be dangerous to just open the door? I was just rattling off what popped into my mind. No, I hadn't even thought it. It just seemed to jump from my throat before anything else. Kind of like when you snap your head back after touching a hot stove. It's the hand. I just reflexively blurted it out.
どういうこと？
You wasn't buying it. I took my hand from Yu's arm and searched for words. At that moment,
それもそうだよね。もしかしたら熱水を運んでるパイプかなんかが破裂してて。
Sora took up the slack in my explanation. Oh, I see. While I sensed danger, I couldn't express some words that would make me. The three of us nodded satisfied.
どれ？試してみるか。
Takeshi touched his hand on the wet floor. He went to place his damp fingers on the door. The droplets sizzled, evaporating away.
本当だ。
Oh, wow. It was just like Sora had said.
でも、そんなことよくわかったな、少年。
Yeah. I replied, but I hadn't really known it would be dangerous either. The one who had known was a separate someone inside me. Not someone that simply borrowed my voice. That habit was so strange that it made me feel out of place in my own skin.
とにかくこのままじゃ中に入れないってことだよね。
ああ、困ったな。
ひとまず発電室に流れている熱水のバルブを閉めましょう。熱水さえ止まればこの中の蒸気の放出も停止するはずだから。バルブ？それどこにあるんですか？この隣の部屋よ。もう一つ奥の通路を進んでいくの。そんなに人数は必要ないから。
よし来た、任せろ。
クラナリ？
ほら、俺の。
だってクラナリの。
あのな。
いいのいいの。
まあ、おい少年、お前はどうするよ。
What the heck? Sorry guys, stuff happened. Yep. Okay. So we have to decide whether to go with you or not. I'll help you, just in case she gets killed or something.
そうかい。なら、俺とサラで留守番だな。おい、それなら文句ねえだろ？オ
ッケー。
ったく、俺が何したってんだよ。
It seemed that Takeshi was oblivious to his disturbing dream that night before. I figured that Yu was concerned about you in her own way, like when she had you carry the heavy toolbox. Maybe it was her way of saying rest a bit or take it easy.
そういうもんかね。
Oh, I get it. I get it why she won't take Takeshi. You think so? That's a pretty generous and oops.
まあいいや。だったらお言葉に甘えて、俺たちはまったりしとくことにするさ。
Takeshi tried to pat Sarah on the shoulder, but she dodged the advice.
おっと、拙者には手を触れない方が良いでござるよ。
え？
何せ伊賀流忍術免許皆伝見込み保持者。
なんだそりゃ。
だから要するにほら少年行くよ。
Yeah. You and I left an increasingly tense atmosphere behind. The room was covered in a mass web of pipes. It's creepy music. The pipes continue into the adjacent generator room. It seemed that by opening and closing the valves, the water and oil pressure could be adjusted. Normally, Lei Mei is responsible for maintaining the generator room, but even Lei Mei can't do much when the generator itself goes out. Anyhow, this is all because the power supply is down. This room is designed so the maintenance can be performed manually at times like this or during blackouts. That was what you told me. You selected one pipe from the countless rows of them and instructed me to close its valve. As ordered, I turned the valve around and around. Hey, you! I said this as I was closing the valve. It's about the girl from yesterday. Yeah. I'm positive. These eyes saw her. Really, you? Huh? This disease? Enough already. Sorry. Finally, the valve was completely shut. Can we talk now? You took off from the room as if she were a fugitive on the run. I was left in the room alone. I felt an unclear mess of feelings stewing inside my mind. With this, we would be able to shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. Even so, on the other side of the door, it was still hot enough to scald. The four of us waited outside the generator room until we could be sure that the temperature inside had cooled enough. 9:42 a.m. When we thought the time had come, we timidly opened the door. It was like opening the door to a steam bath. A cloud of steam hissed out of the door. The heat inside just about defied imagination. The air in the steam-filled room was heavy and stuck to the skin. Inhaling felt like swallowing globes of sticky, hot steam. Takeshi was opening and closing his mouth like a fish out of water. And so we got to the work fixing the generator. Takeshi and you did the bulk of the work. It wasn't much for Sora or me to do, but we were helpless when it came to machines. Takeshi and Sora were working on the other side of the generator. You was doing battle with the machine and depending on my flashlight wielding skills. With nothing much to do, my mind started wandering. And of course, they led right to the girl that had disappeared. I just couldn't believe that I had imagined the whole thing. Hey, you know, I thought a lot about it. About the girl. Just listen. Maybe that girl... Maybe she is a ghost.
Huh?
You gave me a fed-up look, shook her head and went back to work. That's gotta be it. That would explain why the numbers changed so irregularly, and why she vanished all of a sudden. Listen, I'm serious. I suppressed my anger and put the flathead screwdriver in Yu's hand. Okay then, you don't have to listen seriously. Just listen to me stupidly. It's multiplication, right? A minus times a minus is a plus, right? It's about the girl that disappeared. If she were a ghost... I wouldn't say believe, but believe in the possibility. How do you know? You sighed and started turning the
い
next
い？
room.
古今東西の怪談話なんてものは、ほとんどが作り話なの。要するに、エンターテインメントを目的としたフィクションってわけね。
But haven't you ever felt somebody's eyes on you when you were in a room all alone?
視線？
Yeah, like someone was watching you from
お
behind.
母さんじゃない？
I'm being serious. Oh, never mind.
そういうケースはね、妄想の産物。本人の興味や精神状態が生み出したげ。
You mean my mind's playing tricks on me?
平たく言えばそうね。UFO とかカッパもそうだけど、人間っていうのはこの想像力のおかげで人間はここまで進化してこれたわけだけど、行き過ぎると妄想と現実とがごっちゃになっちゃう。幽霊の正体見たり枯れ尾花。怖がったり興味のある人にはいるいると思い込んでいれば、ありえないものだって存在する。怖い怖いと怖がっていれば、なんでもないものだってそれっぽく見えてしまうもんよ。
Let's keep arguing. What about Kanshibari? How do you explain that?
金縛り？
When you wake up and you can't move, is that just a person's mind too?
それはきっと縛られたんだよ。寝てる
Who?
SM 好きの恋人に。
As if that could
と
happen.
いうのは冗談。金縛りってのは体は眠っているのに、だから意識はあっても体は動かっ。
What about the people that say they wake up from a
目
ghost?
を開いたと思い込んでるだけで、本当は夢を見てるの。脳は活発に動いてる上に、体が思うように動かないっていう恐怖。いかにも突飛な夢らしい夢を、はっきり現実に見たと思ってしまうわけ。さっきも言ったでしょ？強く強く思い込むことで、現実なんてものは簡単に歪められてしまうの。
I guess so. She's got a point.
その
You can't convince me. I know I saw her. At least I saw
ま
something.
さか僕には霊感があるんだ。ちょっとマジ？言い出すつもり？わかったわかった。でも突然薄桃色のエクトプラズムとか吐き出したりし、あとそれからポルターガイストとか起こったら、せっかく止めたネジが外れちゃうかもしれないから。
I'm not believing this stuff. You sure know a lot about
信
it.
じてないから詳しいの。私の知識は防御のためにあるんじゃない、攻撃のためにあるのよ。
Huh?
つまり幽霊とか超能力とか UFO とかそういうオカルト。私の知識は彼らをギャフンと言わせるためにあるの。鈍楽するために敵の情報を仕入れてるって。大学で考古学を専攻したのもそのためなんだから。
Archaeology? Archaeology. I thought that was about digging, looking for artifacts, ruins, deciphering ancient letters, that kind of stuff, right?
まあね。
You studying archaeology. It just didn't click. So what are you
研
studying?
究なんてそんな大層なものはしてないよ。教授の講義を聞いたり、実習で発掘調査に参加したりしながら、考古学とは何だ。
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of archaeology, have you ever heard of the continent Lemuria? It seems like it is the origin of Lemu's name.
聞いたことあるも何も、嫌っていうほど知ってるよ。レムリアっていうのは紀元前2億年から5000、その大陸では現代よりもはるかに高度な文明が栄えていたが、何らかの原因により。
You recited it off so fluently that it sounded like she was reading from a textbook. Advanced civilization overnight, huh? That sounds just like
学者の中にはこの大陸こ
Atlantis?
そ人類発祥の地だとか主張してる人もいるらしいけど、まったく何言っちゃってるんだか。
You don't believe it?
当たり前でしょ。考古学的にも地質学的にもちゃんとした研究が進むにつれて説得力はどんどん失われていって。
Is that right?
現実ってのはね、宗教なんかもそうだけど、神秘主義者たちが熱っぽく語る話、そもそも根拠がないんだから何を言っても構わないって発想な。
I thought that maybe precisely because there was no evidence for or against that, what people said was actually packed with meaning. I felt like that because those words were the only foothold, the only way to really nail down reality. And absently, though, I thought about this for a minute. Let me try. We switched places and I tried twisting the screw into place. You twisted and stretched. Her back popped loudly. Hey, you know what we were just talking about? Yeah.
ひょっとしたら少年って、この手の話がものすごく好きだったりする人?
I don't know about that, but since we've got time to kill, just humor me.
で、何でしたっけ?
Okay, I wonder if Lemuria angered God and he sent it to the bottom of the ocean? I mean, if the people of Lemuria had such an advanced civilization, maybe God struck them down for their pride or something. Huh? You? Hello?
あ、いけないいけない。危うく私まであっちの世界に行っちゃうとこだったわ。
Oh gosh.
もっとバカ的に、バカ的に。うん、よし。これでもう大丈夫。オッケーオッケー。要するに君は、バベルの塔と同じだって言いたい。
Tower of Babel?
旧約聖書の創世記ってお話に出てくる塔のことよ。そのお話の中で、人間は自分たちの栄華を誇示するために、高い高い塔を作ろうとするの。でも、そんな人間の行為に神様、人間の分際で生意気だってね。かくしてその塔は、神の力で破壊され、工事はこれがバベルの塔のし。
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. An honor without stopping my work.
だとしたらそれは、きっとシバ神みたいな神様の仕業ね。
シバ？
破壊神にして、再建の神シバ。1000を超える無数の異名と4本の腕、4つの顔、3つの目を持つ、ヒンズー教の三大主神の一人なの。
Oh yeah? Well, Arceus has 1,000 arms. Beat that.
再生のために自ら世界を破壊してしまう神様なんだけど、その破壊が徹底されたものであるほど、次に大きな可能性を秘めた存在が生み出されるらしいの。
Kind of like starting from square one is better than fixing something halfway.
多分ね。だから、もしレムリアが神様の怒りで海に沈んだとしたら。
Oh, I see. A god that would purge the world of filth by destroying it. A god that damned people drunk with pride. A forced rebirth.
ほらほら、手が止まってるぞ。
I'm already done. I've finished putting in all the screws.
じゃあ今度はこのボルトを閉めて。
I handed the screwdriver to her and took the wrench. Somewhere along the line, I've been put in the charge of the work. When you pointed the flashlight near me, I saw 3 bolts in the shape of a triangle. You say that Shiva has 3 eyes. That means I put the wrench between my eyebrows. You have another eye right here, then?
そういうこと。なんでも、その第3の目からは、この世のすべてを焼き尽くす。
Wow, that sounds pretty cool. I said that as I turned the top bolt. But I bet a visit to the optimist would be a pain.
レンズがもう一つ余計に売れるんだから、好都合だと思うけど。
I thought to myself that making the custom frame is what would cost a fortune, but I didn't dare say it.
まあ、それはそれとして、世界中の文献を紐解いてみると、第3の目っていう概念は、透視能力、遠隔視、スーパービジョン、霊の知覚、未来視、過去視、神がかり的な力の源であったり、あるいは厳しい修行の末に習得で。
When the third eye opens, true wisdom is apparent and all becomes visible.
言うなれば、人知を超えた存在、超人の象。
Real wisdom. Wondering that, I turned to face the bolt again. If I had that, I'll be able to get back my memory. Yeah, right. If there really is such a thing, I want
教え
one.
て、第3の目を？
Yeah, if I had one, maybe I could see my past. Maybe I know who that girl is. Anyway, I like to see what it is like.
見たいの？
Yeah, maybe I could see
じゃ
something.
あ、見せてあげようか。
What? I looked up, and there was Yu's face. When did she get so close? We were at a distance where we could just about feel each other's breath. The tips of our noses just about touched. That's how close her face was. You?
見たいんでしょ?
You stared at me in the eye as she said this. I couldn't speak, my legs shook. My heart was beating as fast as it would go. It felt like it would jump right out of my chest.
よーく見て.
You lifted up her bangs and placed her finger on her forehead.
ここにあるでしょ? 第三の目が.
On Yu's face, there was nothing. All I could think of was her nice skin and sweet smell. Wow, she's such a troll. You grabbed her stomach laughing. Huh? What?
冗談
What?
おかしすぎるよ。ここまでもろに引っかかってくれるなんて君最高だよ。
You're so mean, you. You tease me even though you know how serious I am.
ごめん。少年がまたしても変なこと言い出すから、ちょっと、それにね、あながち嘘でも。
Saying that, you pointed to her forehead again. What do you mean? Wonder why we had two eyes. Common knowledge had that physically two eyes were enough for gauging the distance to a point of focusing on something. But what would it be like if we really used to have three eyes? Actually, the animal ancestors of vertebrates had three eyes. Early species of primitive reptiles, like the tortuga lizard that still has a third eye on top of its head. Let me search that up. Okay, so I just searched it up and yeah, it's true. It still has the eye on its head. That's kinda cool. I mean, it's seen as a baby, but other than that, it disappears. Wikipedia has too many big words for me to understand, so I couldn't understand whether the third eye works or not. So yeah. Third eye. The organ has a similar function to the eyeball and lies on top of the head. This organ would... Oh, okay, it explains it right here. Has a similar function to the eyeball and lies on the top of the head. This organ would be sensitive to the light of the outside world and control internal hormone secretion and balance based on light. An eye on the crest of one's head would stare straight up. It seems safe to say that would sense the difference in light between day and night. A right eye, left eye, and one above. An eye on the top of the head to stare at the sky. Only we people and higher vertebrates had lost the third eye over a long process of evolution. Now have been covered over by the cerebrum and we lost our ability to sense light directly. Therefore, we had two light-sensitive eyeballs, one on each eye instead. This lost eye was called a pineal body. This had function in the brain for eons and was responsible for secreting hormones that helped carve out a 24-hour rhythm. What we call our internal clocks existed because of this pineal body. That was essentially the rundown that you gave me as I was turning the ball.
つまり、第三の目って言っても、人体科学的な意味で考えると、何のことはないの。退化した器官の一つに。
You mean like an appendix or the webbing between fingers?
そういうこと。
I finished with the bowl.
オッケー。それでこっちの作業は完了だよ。疲れた。
You stretched as she said this. I put both hands on my waist and stretched. We were both drenched in sweat. Hey, I was wondering. So that occult stuff that you were just telling me about is for offensive purposes too?
そうね。あれは何の役にも立たない無駄な知識ね。なのに捨てようと思っても捨てられない。多分、頭の根っこのとこに。
But you planted it there yourself, right?
とんでもない。犯人は母親よ。
Your mom?
そう。私の主に第三視点とかいう古い、とにかくちっちゃな頃から。
Wow. The third eye. How about that? I wonder if the third eye could be related to something. I would ask about the possible connections, but my mind and body were completely trained. Oh well, I'll save it for next time.
考古学なんて大っ嫌い。
You sighed as she said this.
気がついたらいつの間にか考古学
Like mother, like daughter.
そんな生優しい
You shoulder slumped and she let go of deep sigh
これ
again.
はある種の呪
Soon after that, it looked like Takeshi and Sarah had finished their work as well. Well, it had turned into an adventure, but at least we had finished the repairs. It was just like Sarah had said. The cause of the blackout was the opening of the safety valve due to the drop in air pressure. When pressure from steam becomes excessive, the valve automatically opens to release the gas and prevent damage. Normally, after a release of surplus gas, the valve is designed to shut naturally, but we're only at 1 atmosphere. Because the safety valve never closed, the steam continued leaking. Anyway, that was the gist of the explanation. Left the generator room and went to the pipe room. There we opened the valve we had closed before the repairs. And returned the generator room.
さて、それじゃあ行ってみますか。
Takeshi whispered a question as we stood in front of the generator switch.
入れるぞ。
Sarah, you and I.
心の準備はできたかな？
Just do it.
そこ、うるさいよ。では、カウントダウン50秒前。
50も数える。
45秒前。
Takeshi continued, ignoring her.
くらなに、いくら。
40、39、38。
He was irritating.
37。
So irritating.
34。
Click. All three of us, except Takeshi, pushed the button.
ほら、勝手にスイッチ入れんなよ。まだ34秒前じゃねえか。
Nobody wants to wait 34 seconds. Somebody had to push it.
たかだか30秒ちょっとも待てないのか、お前らは。
待てる。
こういうのはだな、ある種の儀式というか、形式というか。
Whoa. Lights lit up all at once. Surprised me. The light poured down, illuminating even the corners of the room. It was like our field of vision had expanded in an instant.
17。
は？
ちょうどさっきのカウントが17秒前の時、電気。それがどうかしたの？わかりません。電気がつくまでちょうど17秒だったんです。
Oh, I see. Understood what she was saying. You mean if we would have pushed it at 17 seconds, it would have been just right?
うん。それは傑作ね。
ち。
I wasn't sure if Takeshi was over his anger, but he shouldered the heavy toolbox and left the room. We retracted our path until we were in front of the neutral buoyancy elevator. The frozen tuna's empty eyes were waiting for us. The elevator we used coming down had already floated up to its wait stop. To the left, the floor display was lit up with the number 3.
ああ、よっこらどっこいしょっと。
Takeshi groaned as he put the toolbox on the floor of the elevator.
おっさんみたい。
うるせえ。どうせお前に比べりゃおっさんだよ、俺は。
While they needled each other, I pushed the up button next to the door. Internal and external watertight doors have already sealed automatically. We could hear the air being sent into the ballast tank under the floor. Finally, the egg-shaped elevator then started to flow up.
マジ？
The sound beneath the floor had stopped and silence had returned.
また？どうしてこうも次から次へと厄介な時期。
Knowing it was useless, I pushed the up button repeatedly. Of course, EI didn't move an inch. Alright, so what do we do? Just as I said that, a monitor just to the right of the round window flickered to life. Oh, it's Sora.
Sora! お前どこ行ってたんだよ。探したんだぞ。
大変ご迷惑をおかけしました。
The image of Sora and the monitor bow
そんなことはどうでもいいじゃない。ソラ、発電機。
そのようですね。ありがとうございました。本当に。
でだ、分かってると思うけど、今俺たちは卵を。
ええ、分かっています。愛が。
どうすればいいのかな。
まず、その原因についてなの。おそらく内部気圧が減少した関係で、バラストタンク内の海水を、つまり。
You mean it isn't buoyant enough?
はい。浮上させる方法はいくつか考え。
In the end, we decided to split into pairs to ride the elevator. In line with the principle of Archimedes, the buoyancy was inefficient. We had to lighten the load. First, Sarah and I got an EI. Sora and Tsugumi were waiting at Suites.
お二人とも本当にご苦労様でした。
Sora beamed a welcoming smile at us. Tsugumi just stood there staring at Sarah and me. Next came you, and then the tuna took the elevator to return to our floor. I noticed that when Tsugumi saw you cradling the frozen fish, she grinned for the first time. Sora, on the other hand,
大丈夫ですか、黒柳さん。
Sora ran up to next to the fish in a panic.
あの先輩、そのマグロ持ってきたんですか？大切な食料なんだから当然でしょ。
そんな
Sora was still flustered and rambling next to the fish. I wonder if she really thought that Takeshi had turned into a tuna.
私のせいで倉成さんが
Really?
俺の方こそどうしたらいいのでしょうって感じなんです。
That's hilarious. Nearly an hour had passed since the power had gone back online. We gathered in the third floor conference room. Takeshi, Tsugumi, Sora, you, Sarah, and I, all 6 of us were sitting in chairs just letting time pass. Why did they have that random question mark there? The rescue team still hadn't come. Our situation didn't show any sign of changing. Takeshi's yawn spread from person to person. I desperately tried to keep from yawning. Sora had her head down and looked as if she were thinking about something. We were bored silly. I hadn't realized that doing nothing could be so hard. Well, I might as well get some exercise. Thinking that I stepped from the chair.
あれどうしたの
Sarah shot me a question and slumped in the chair. We've gone all this time, so I thought I'll go for a little walk.
だったらさ、何か飲み物持ってきて。
Huh? Why was this in that case thing?
私喉乾いちゃってさ、売店にジュースとか置いてあったよ。
I think so.
じゃあ、よろしくね。
No problem. Oh well, so any kind of juice is okay?
いいよ。
Great. Felt like the group hierarchy and had sorted itself out. I left the conference room and headed for the kiosk. I had a good idea where it was from wandering around the complex the day before. Went to the rest area on the way. Something had been left on the bench. It was wrapped chicken sandwiches. I figured these were probably sandwiches that Takeshi had made and taken to Tsugumi and Sora. I bet that during the blackout they had been forgotten. Alright, might as well take these along. I took the sandwiches and... At the kiosk I started looking for drinks. There was enough food and drinks for us to survive for days. The only food there was chicken sandwiches and the ingredients to make them, but at least we didn't have to worry about food. We were unfortunately fortunate. Took 6 cans of cola from the kiosk freezer. Only Sarah had asked, but I thought I'll take back one for everyone. Here we go. Trailing cola in both arms, I started back. Here you go! When I came back, everyone was shouting loudly. Cards were randomly placed on the table facing down. They might have been playing the game.
おかえり。
I figured since I was there, then I'd bring back enough for everyone.
大義でござった。
Sarah took 2 of the 2 cans and handed one to you.
はい、先輩にもどうぞ。お、気が利くじゃん、しょ。
You took the cola from Sarah and popped open the tap. Like a pro, she held the fizz down so it wouldn't explode. She didn't go getting herself at all drinks and soda. So what were you all up to with cards? I put the remaining 4 cans on the table.
ピロピロピンポンドーンだよ。
What's that?
あれ知らないの？
Never heard of it.
そっか。少年は記憶喪失だから忘れちゃったんだね。
I realized that I couldn't remember even these kind of things. I wonder if I should have been more uneasy about my lost memory than I was. First I thought I'll have a cola. Oh, by the way, I also brought these. I remembered the sandwiches and holding the can in my right hand, plunged my hand into my left pocket.
What?
This here. I remembered the wrapper sandwich.
どうしたんだこれ？お前が作ったのか？
It was on the bench in the rest area. Didn't you leave it there, Takeshi?
ああ、そっか。空に渡し損ねたやつか。停電。
I thought that somebody might be hungry.
おー、素晴らしい。君って本当に気が。
You rushed over and violently mussed up my hair. Oh, that's right, I have another one. Feeling good about myself, I put the can in my other hand and went to get the sandwich from my right pocket. What in?
どうしたの？
It's gone. There was nothing in my right pocket.
落としたんじゃないの？
No way. I didn't think that I could have dropped it. Somehow I felt there was something odd going
よし、
on.
じゃあこれは空の分だ。
Looking, I saw Takeshi holding a sandwich out towards Sora.
朝食べてないだろ？
いえ、私はいいんです。
遠慮するなよ。これ俺が作ったんだけど。
ええ。
おいおい、嘘じゃないぞ。
そうそう。美味しいのは拙者も保証するでござるよ。
Me too. Sarah and I both raised our hands in a show of agreement?
そら、俺の飯が食えないのか？
そんなことおっしゃられても。
じゃあなんだ？昨日食いすぎたか？それともダイエットか？
The food must be poisonous, that's why. But you's eating it, so I don't know.
いいえ、でも。
ダメ。きちんと食わなきゃ体に毒な。
He tossed the cola and chicken sandwich towards Sora. He traced a gentle arc through the air. Sora suddenly reached out her hands. She reached them out, but Sora didn't catch them. No, she couldn't catch them. She didn't avoid them. It wasn't that she was too slow. Sora was there with her hands extended into space. The sandwich had fallen on her feet, and the cola had finally slammed into the wall behind her and exploded. The spring cola didn't get Sora wet. Droplets looked like they were flying through Sora's body. Wait, what? The sandwich wrapper covered the silhouette of Sora's sandal. It was as if the two had melded together. Whoa. Is Sora just a hologram? Takeshi wasn't the only one surprised. I was confused and without a clue. Whoa, Sora. I knew there was something wrong with Sora. So, I'm guessing she's a hologram? It could have been that it seemed odd because I didn't know from the start. Maybe it seemed strange because I'd forgotten it. So all I could do was sit there with my mouth agape, my eyes staring at the spectacle.
ですから、私はいらないと申し上げたのですが。
Sora made an embarrassed looking expression.
いや、あれだ、俺は。
Takeshi looked completely puzzled.
ちゃんと渡すつもりで投げたんだけど、おかしいな。手が滑っちゃったのかな。
すいません。でもちっともおかしくはない。
でも、ほら吹いてる、かかってる。
はい。
っていうか、サンド踏んでる足の先がないですよ、ソラさん。
And just like that, Sora's vanished toes reappeared. But the place where the sandwich was supposed to be unsteadily. I didn't have any idea what it all meant.
もしかして、倉成さん。
Sora was shuffling embarrassedly.
ソラ、お前は一体。
For some reason, you gave a huge sigh right next to Takeshi, and then she burst out laughing.
倉成、面白いから黙って見てたけど、あんた本当に何も聞いてなかったのね。
何をだよ。
Takeshi was still confused.
ゲートに入場する時の説明。
だから、それはなんだよ。
And looking around, only Takeshi and I were surprised. I listened to Coco, that's why. A strange expression floated onto Sora's face, but it seemed like she knew what was going on. Tsukumi's face was blank. Apart from Takeshi, it seemed like nobody felt this was anything to be that surprised about. Tsukumi stood up as if irritated.
もう見ていられないわね。
After spitting out those words, she left the conference room. I listened to Coco instead. That's why. It probably explained that Sora was just a, hologram or something. Maybe we were used to it, but we just watched it go. No one tried to stop her.
まあ、つぐみのことはそら、悪いんだけど、もう一回自己紹介。
はい、わかりました。
The punctured can had stopped fizzing. Sora took a step forward to us carefully as if avoiding the sandwich and straightened up. After a slight bow, she spoke.
私は、茜ヶ崎空。正式名称は、LMRS。このレミューの案内係を仰せつかっている人工知能。いわゆる、AI プログラムです。
That's cool. An artificial intelligence.
私は、レミシステム内の機能の一部として、手近な端末で呼び出してくだされば、レミューの館内どこにでもすぐに参ります。また、前回に及ぶ本格的な RSD を採用することで、私の姿形は実現。
やっぱり RSD だったんだ。でも、ここまですごいのは見たことないよ。レミューの自慢の出し物の一つだ。だから空は停電の間いなくな。
ええ、どうもご心配をおかけしました。
I have finally lost any sense of what was going on. Takeshi looked flustered as well. The conversation had taken off and left me and Takeshi behind. What's RSD?
簡単に言うと、半導体レーザーを直接 もうまく照射する過剰表示システム。
I see. I nodded. I had no clue what she was talking about, but I thought it might have been because I had no memory. It all seemed that any more questions would stall the conversation, so I decided to take a I don't get it, but that's okay approach.
それにしても、ずいぶん高度な人格を持たされてるんだね。
The surprising thing was Sarah seemed to be following the conversation the
仮
best.
想空間を生み出す技術にレミューは相当なこだわりを持っていますから、私の存在もその一環です。
大きなシステムが必要なんじゃない？
そうですね。それでも数十年前に比べればかなり小型になったので。
どのくらい？すいません。詳細なデータを持たされてる。
ええ、そうです。
じゃあちょっと質問を変えるけど、空自身の意思は記憶によって変容したり。
The conversation was getting more and more technical. Sarah kept badgering Sora with technical questions. Things about samplings and algorithms and structure this and code that and jargon was flying around. But my head started to hurt. Hey, you. I approached you and tugged her on the sleeve. This conversation is crazy complex. What is with Sarah anyway?
忍びのもの。
Stop with the stupid jokes. You puffed out her cheeks as if pouting. It didn't seem she was in the mood for a comeback.
マヨはね、ハッカーなのよ。
Hacker meaning... Naturally, I knows the hacker. Is Sarah a programmer?
趣味でやってる程度だって本人は言ってるけど、でも彼女の腕はプロ顔負けっていうレベル。この間なんかクラッキングコンテストで優勝しちゃってくら。
Cracking contest?
暗号破りのコンテストのこと。言っておくけど犯罪じゃないよ。暗号技術の会社が開催する技術の安全性の確認を目的に行われる。そこでハッカーたちに自社のアルゴリズムをわざと攻撃させる。
Kind of like a decryption game contest.
まあ、そう考え。
Oh, so it's a game.
ゲームだと言ってバカにしない方がいいよ。なんだって世界中の腕に覚えのあるそこで優勝するってことは世界一って言ってる。
Wow. The best? That's just way too incredible.
そうね。コンピューターにかけては彼女。
I see. It seemed that you truly couldn't tell who a person was by appearances. Apart from being a little lame-ish devious, she just seemed like a normal girl. But Sarah just kept talking to Sora about things that I couldn't comprehend. There was a gap between who she appeared to be and who she actually was. I kept staring at Sarah from side in a state of semi-awe. In the end, only Takeshi was completely surprised that Sora was AI. Yu was an employee of Leimu, so of course she knew. Before leaving the room, Tsugumi hadn't seemed that surprised. Sarah, as was clear by her questions, had a solid grip on the situation. And the whole situation we were in was so crazy, I didn't know what to be surprised about. Several hours passed. It seemed the sun was getting ready to set. But deep in the ocean, our sense of time was disappearing. Checking my watch was the only way that I knew it was evening. Nothing changed in late. No one had to come to pay us a visit. But things had gotten worse. Right now, there was no sign of flooding or impending collapse. We had just been passing the time as we saw fit. And now we had all forgotten about not being able to escape. I was in the rest area. I sat on the bench and looked at the blooming flowers without really seeing them. And there was no one else around. We were going to meet up again at 7 o'clock. Until then, we had free time. I was thinking about Sora, and revealing what she really was. Sora's real identity. AI, artificial intelligence, a program, a virtual image. Sora didn't really exist. In other words, Sora wasn't a person. Sora clearly had a will of her own. She could think and act for herself. I knew that much, but with limited knowledge, everything other than that was beyond me. So, if an artificial intelligence has a mind of its own, could you call it less human than us? Could you call something like that less human? Because this same concept of something being human is in Virtue's last word too. So can something artificial be less human, even though it has a conscience and to the point it can have make-believe feelings? Can it be less human than us? Would it be less human, or would it be just as human? Because I couldn't tell Sora, because Sora acted like just a person, like a real person. So we all assumed it was a real person, but it's actually an AI. That explanation wasn't good enough, but yeah. The point was, is something acts very human, less human than we are. That's basically what I'm trying to say. There were lots of things I couldn't know. I looked down. The floor was covered with a layer of water. The lights in the ceiling were reflected in the water. It was like the cold light of the moon. I poked my finger into the water. Flop. Water rippled and the surface shook. The light in the water fragmented into Desiree, finally returned to its original shapes. I reached into the water, trying to grab the light. But I couldn't only grab a little seawater. I couldn't touch the light. I tried again and again, but I couldn't my hand on the moon.
それでどこからお話ししたら
I wish you'd start with the basics. Sora was sitting next to me. At least that's how it appeared to me. I decided to seek out an explanation directly from Sora. What exactly was Sora? Might have been rude asking her to write this, but I thought it would be ruder to continue along without really knowing.
わかりました。RSD について。
Yeah, it might be something that you really don't want to talk about.
それはどうしてですか?
Well, you're not a person. You're Sora. So asking about systems and stuff, it might be kind of personal. I don't really know how to say it. I just thought it might be like... My broken explanation brought a soft smile on Sora's face.
そんなことは気になさらなくていい。少年さんはさっきおっしゃいましたよね。たとえ私の根源に関わるようなことをお話しすると。
I squeezed my hand shut. Of course, I wasn't holding anything.
それから実は先ほど
Huh? Takeshi?
はい。
Sora gently put her hand on her chest.
私は皆さんと同じではありませんが、だからこそ私は皆さんに。
Saying that, Sora looked at me and slightly dropped her eyes. I felt like pieces of the puzzle scattered on the floor of my mind were about to fall into place. As if enticed by her grin, I became quiet.
では RSD について。
I concentrated on what she was saying so as not to miss anything. She placed both of her hands on her chest.
少年さん、ちゃんと私が
Yes, I see you.
少年さんのすぐ隣に立っています。
I'm positive.
ですが
Suddenly, Sora faced me and reached out toward me. And then... Whoa! Sora's hands slipped without resistance into my chest. Reflexively, I tried to grab her arms, only my hands met with nothing. My hands were in front of my chest, but there was nothing there.
そう。少年さんは今、しかし私は実際に少年さんの隣。
Saying that, Sora pulled her hand back.
RSD レティナルスキャニングディスプレイ。この表示装置には表示部がありません。網膜に向けて出力の弱いレーザーが照射する。
Antenna? You mean my eye?
はい。各部屋や通路の天井には半導体レーザーの出力装置がついて、それで少年さんの網膜自体。
Image?
ええ。はい。私の画像で。
Directly on my retina.
一般的なホログラフィックスクリーンは背後にある物体を透過してしまいますが、眼球そのものを仮想画面として扱い、また周囲背景と合成した画像を高速で送り。
Well, what about your voice? It sounds like your voice is coming from where your mouth appears.
少年さん、3D サウンドって聞いたこと？
3D sound?
ヘッドホンをつけて音楽を聞いたことは？
Probably, but I can't remember, so I'm not sure.
そうでしたね。失礼しました。では答えを言ってしまうと、大抵の人は音が
Inside their head, I tried to visualize what she meant. A melody played in my mind. I could get a vague sense of what she said. Yeah, I think I kind of sense what you mean. I think I've probably heard something like that before.
でも実際には音が頭の中で鳴っているわけではない。
Suppose not.
これを応用して左右の音量調節および反響音のシミュレートを前後左右上下どの方角からでも音が聞こえているように錯覚させる。
I see. Oh, so that would be the voice converters. Oh, that's cool. So that's why we have. I still have both of them in my ears. Remove them, they were about the size of my fingers. In front of me, Sora's mouth moved soundlessly. It was like I couldn't hear her voice. But that wasn't all. Then her image started to get a little fuzzy. Huh? When I replaced the voice converter, Sora returned to normal.
投影する映像の転移の修正を左右対になった変換器の位置で行っているんです。
Oh, that's cool.
少年さんがどこにいてどちらの方向を向いているのか、レミはそれを常に館内のセンサーと変換器からのデータを用いてミリ単位で計測しています。ですから私が少年さんの背後20メートルの位置にいる時にはちゃんと少年さんの背後
That's
20メ
so
ートルの位置に
cool.
いるかのように
I wish there was stuff like this in real life. That's very cool.
右にいる時には右から左にいる時には左から下にいる時には下から
Under when you are under?
とにかくそういうことなんです。少年さん、今度はちょっと
I faced to the left as she said. Sora stood and moved around to my
さ
right.
っき私はレミが少年さんの位置と向きを常に同時に少年さんの眼球の動きと位置もですから少年さんが動いても私は同じ場所に立っているようにそう見えるような画像をレミがスキャンしている。
So you can be made to suddenly disappear or reappear in another
見
place?
たいですか？
No, I think I'll pass. Suddenly, I imagine Sora disappearing and fleeting around here and there. Somehow it's kind of like a ghost.
ええ、よく言われます。同じ場所にいて同じものを見ているにもかかわらずある人私は見たことはありませんがもし本当それはきっと私と同じような存在な
Now I get it. But there's something that bothers me.
何でしょう。
Sora, so you can't be in more than one place at a time? For example, you can't be in one room talking to me and another talking with Sora?
理論上は可能です。しかし私の場合それはできない仕様になっています。
Why not?
お客様にリアリティを感じていただくためだと思われます。世界中に空という存在はたったそういう設定にしておかないとお客様の中には混乱なされる方もいらっしゃる。それと制作者のポリシーですね。私を独立した人格を持った一個のキャラクター、そういえばユナイテッドランドのキャラクターも同様だと聞いたことがあり、館内に着ぐるみのマスコットは1体ずつ物語の中と同じように同じ種類の
The time for our gathering was getting near, so Sora and I headed to the conference room. It seemed strange that Sora, who could teleport anywhere, instantly was walking. Maybe she was doing it to humor me. I was wondering about the laser retina scan. So if I weren't in a place that the laser couldn't reach you, then I couldn't see you?
もちろんそうです。ですが出力装置は館内の全ての部屋に設置されていますし光線を反射させるためのミラーほとんどどこにいても私の姿を見せることは可能なはずです。
So there are no blinds.
そういう設定になっています。けれど致命的な欠点が一つだ。
Flaw?
私は誰かに見られることによって初めて具現化することができるのです。
What?
誰も私のことを見ていなければ私は存在しないも同然。例えばここにいる5人全員がその瞬間私の姿はどこにも存在しなくなってしまうのです。
I casually held hand up in front of my eyes. I curved my feet forward and looked down at my near feet. There was no sign of Sora next to me. It was as she had vanished or never been there in the first place. Surprised, I removed my hand and Sora reappeared in the corridor. The owling of Sora's sandals blurred dimly in the water.
誰かが私を見る。その行為があって初めて私は姿を現すことができる。視線。誰かの視点が私を作るのです。少年さん、あなたが目を閉じた時。
Eventually, we reached the conference room. Sora's face was one big smile, but somewhere in the smile seemed a hint of sadness. At least it appeared that way to me. It was nighttime. Already? In the ocean, it was only slightly darker than before. Fortunately, the damage to Lame hadn't worsened. I had a light dinner, eating the chicken sandwich Takeshi had made. Incidentally, we have gotten rid of that frozen tuna because nobody knew how to cut it up. After eating, there was really nothing to do. How can Sora be sleepy? Takeshi's yawn was contagious.
それにしても、眠いね。
まあな、特にこれといってすることもないし。
Everyone was slouched in chairs, just spacing out. There was no impending danger, no new development. The situation was unchanging and felt like time had stopped.
くらなり、だらしないぞ。
You said, but she sounded tired.
だらだらするなよ。
でもな、今さら館内をうろうろ歩き回ったって、結局、助けが来るまで。
あ、そう。さてさて。
Rubbing her neck and trying to relax her stiff shoulders, you stood up.
あれ？先輩、どこ行くんですか？どこってわけじゃないけど、体動かさないと余計に。あ、拙者いいこと思いついたでござるよ。
Sora raised her hand and stood.
いいこと？みんなで体を動かすような遊びをするでござる。いいけど、例えばどんな遊び？忍者ごっこ。それは
鬼ごっこなんてどうですか？
Sora seemed up for the idea.
まあ、それならいいかな。おし、みんなでやろう。
おいおい、なんでそんな子供の遊びなんか。
ところで、少年はどうする？
What, me too?
だってみんな参加するって言ってるんだよ。
What about Sora? You can whatever.
私は参加しないわ。
Of course
ち
you
なみに
won't.
俺もだ。
おとい。つぐみ以外のみんな。
俺もスタートだって。
Alright, I'm in. I was pretty much sick of boredom.
よーし、決まりね。田中選手、松永選手、茜ヶ崎選手、倉成選手。でも、ただの鬼ごっこっていうだけ。そうね。
缶蹴りにしてみてはいかが。
Sora, you sure have good grasp of simple games like this.
そういうんじゃなくて。
We all thought, and then...
仕方ないわね。
Tsugumi stood up from a chair sluggishly. She walked briskly toward the corner of the room and flipped off the light switch.
なんだよいきなり。暗いじゃないか。
どう？これで気が済んだ？もううんざり。私までおかしくなりそう。
Tsugumi shot us a nasty look and left the room.
何？あれ。さあ。
騒がしいのが気に障ったのでしょうか。
But still, why turn off the lights?
私までって、おかしいのはあいつの方だろ？でもま、時間が経てば、ちゃんとね
え、そうね。悪いんだけど。
Sure. I went to go switch on the lights.
ちょっと待って。
What is it?
せっかくだから、このままでやろうか。
Huh?
暗いところで鬼ごっこ。あ、じゃないや。缶蹴りをするの。
Sarah took one of the empty cans from the table.
名付けて、闇鬼。面白そうじゃない。それで決定。
私も賛成です。
It's a bit more exciting than normal attack.
当然、倉成も OK。
And so we unanimously agreed, except for Tsugumi, to play Kick the Can in the Dark. We decided who was it, using rock, paper, scissors.
せーの、
負けた。
Takeshi was out on the first try.
倉成が最初の鬼ってことで、決定。
頑張ってくださいね。
Everyone was grinning at Takeshi. Takeshi looked about as sorry as it was possible for him to look. Here you go, Takeshi. I handed the empty can to
で待
Takeshi.
って、隠れられるエリアはこの3回全部。よーし、みんな隠れるぞー。よーい。
ちょっと待った。
Takeshi held up a hand, hurriedly stopping you from sending everyone off.
いいお前、今なんて言った？
隠れるぞ
違う、その前。
隠れられるのは
マジかよ。会議室の中とかじゃなくて。
この部屋だけじゃ狭いし。
だからって3回転とか。
ああ、もちろん。ここから歩いていけないエリアはダメだよ。非常通路とか階段に隠れるのもなし。
それでも広すぎるわ。鬼が振りすぎる。一人探してる間に絶対他のやつに。
いいじゃない。
よくない。 ゲームが成り立たない。
もう。まあまあ、確かにハンデはあります。それでは、3階フロアの照明は全て落としますが、代わりに音がよく聞こえるようにし、音が大きく聞こえれば、水のある通路を誰かが移動していればわかります。それから私も移動中の場所がわかるようにします。足音を合成して、
オッケー、そうしてくれ。
Oh, wow.
でも、もし缶にたどり着いたら、私どうしま...
Huh? Oh. That's right. You can't kick the
オラ
can.
は缶が蹴れないじゃね。
We'd only just noticed if we play tag, we just would have banned Sora from jumping balance and image.
じゃあ、私がペアになった鬼の時も逃げて隠れる時も、空と私は常に半径1メートル。そうすれば、私がね、そうしよう。
はい、お願いします。
On top of that, we made Sora promise not to use the bias scan and lay mood to monitor the location of anyone. Yeah, that makes it fair then.
おーし、準備よ。
Looked like everyone was ready.
じゃあ数えるぞ。1、2、3。
Sketchy started counting, we dashed out of the conference room. We left the room in a group. Splash, splash, splash. The sound of our steps through water sounded deeper than before. Thought that we could have to pay attention to which sounds were our own and which others. And we had to determine which footsteps belonged to the person that was it. But for the person that was it was easier because everyone else was the enemy. That pretty much negated any bandage we might have had. At least that's what I thought. We had run a fair bit.
はい、ストップ。
You, who had been running at the front of the pack, stopped us. What's up?
先輩、早く隠れないと見つかっちゃいますよ。まあまあ、いいから話を。
何か作戦があるようですね。
Strategy?
そう。このまま普通に行けば、それだと負ける可能性。
But that's the way the game works, isn't it?
甘い甘いぞ少年。
Aren't you supposed to be a girl? You? I stopped myself from sitting down in the nick of time.
でも先輩、必ず勝つ方法なんてない？
You said this as she played with Sarah's berries. Well, hurry up and tell us already.
私たちにあって鬼にないもの。私たちに。
But Takeshi does it?
人数ですね。鬼。
イエス！その通り！
I don't really get it.
ここまで行ってまだわからないか。
You put her fingers on Sarah's temples and massaged them teeth.
やめてください。おお、そうかそうか。ダメ。そこは本当に相変わらず頭が弱いの。そうなんです。って誰がバカなんじゃ。
Whack! Sarah lightly slapped you on the forehead. Their exchange was enough to make the rest of us feel stupid. Enough of that, just tell me.
仕方ないな。少年は一人と喧嘩するのと
Neither.
どっちか選ぶ。
One, I guess.
どうして？
Against 4 people wouldn't stand a chance.
でしょ？
Huh?
田中さんは物量作戦で行こうと、そういうことなんですよ。